Hey everybody, 8-Bit Josh here, and welcome to Planet Zoo. Yes, this is the beta, and so we're going to take a look at a couple things here. First, I want to show you the scenario. I already played through it on the live stream over on my Twitch channel, which, by the way, if you're not following me on Twitch, you really should, because we do a lot of Planet Coaster and now Planet Zoo, and, you know, I will be doing quite a bit of Planet Zoo streaming while the beta is going on. But in case you don't get to see the stream, or in case maybe you weren't able to get the deluxe version of the game to play the beta yourself, I thought I would kind of walk you through the first scenario, and then we'll move over to our zoo that we started, which is a brand new zoo started from scratch. But yeah, so this is it. This is the Goodwin House Zoo. And as you can see, we got all three objectives. Got the big old gold star. All right, click continue. So you can see right off the bat, you know, if you're familiar with Planet Coaster, the UI is very, very similar. You have all your menu bars down here. You have other little buttons up here that do things. And then, as you can see, this is like our little kind of African animal exhibit. So we have some giraffes, we have some zebras, and cool thing is, like, if you double click on the animal, sort of like Jurassic World Evolution, if you played that, the camera sort of fixates on whatever animal you double click on, and you can kind of just move your camera around, and looks pretty. Oh, he's running. Look at him run. He's running. Oh, he's going to enjoy some sprinkler time. So let's get off of this feller. But it's super cool because you can, like, you click on the animal and it can tell you, like, you know, you can see how old they are. It tells you their welfare, which comes in. It's really, really handy for, especially when you're building your own habitats. So you need to make sure, you know, you have cleanliness, the temperature. Certain animals prefer certain terrain types. Like you can see up here, it tells you, like, grass short. It has correct amount of short grass, long grass, but it'll tell you, and it actually, these sliders move in real time. So as you're painting the terrain, they'll actually move, and you can kind of see, like, okay, now I have the perfect amount of terrain. It also tells you the type of plants that they like. So if, for instance, if a plant doesn't fall into, like, the continent or the biomes, it gives you this, it's all red, and it tells you, like, hey, these animals don't like these trees or bushes because they're not native to where these animals are native from. So it can reduce the overall quality of your thing. And then I love that we have a little enrichment. So, like, we have this little guy. He's got his, like, little kind of ball thingy. He just walks around with it all proud. He's super happy with it. Oh, and he dropped it. Oh, and then there goes a giraffe. I love it. The animals are definitely the best part. Obviously, being that this is part of the Planet series, building in the game is exactly like Planet Coaster. So if you're familiar with Planet Coaster, you'll have no problems jumping right into Planet Zoo. And of course, there's also all kinds of new management aspects, which I did do a video about some of the new stuff going over, so you can go check that out if you want. We won't really cover all of that in depth in this video, but so here we have, like, grizzly bears. And let's see. Walk over this way. I love the glass roofs. They look really good. Oh yeah, so we have, like, the lemurs. And the lemurs, they like to climb everything, so you have a really cool climbing, like, little jungle gym kind of thing for them to use. Over here we have some Indian peafowls. Where are they? Oh, there's one. I've yet to see this guy, you know, make his, like, display his tail or whatever you call it, you know? But I guess he just needs to be in the mood to display his tail. And we have over here, we have some more. So here's the lions. This guy is chowing down as we speak. And oh, look at these guys. They're having a grand old time. They're all swimming, just enjoying life. But yeah, so like, you know, this is the, if you get the beta, and even in the final version of the game, this is the first level of the scenario. And the beta currently only has this first level. You don't get to continue on once you complete it. Here we have some timber wolves. And the cool thing is, like, I love you can make like their little shelters, and you can make them out of terrain and rocks and stuff. So if you don't want to use like building pieces, just carve out yourself like a little cave and they'll use it. So cool, right? Elephants are also good. Oh, look at the baby elephant. He just hit the ball with his trunk. It's cool too because these enrichment toys, like especially these the balls, I've seen them where they actually float in the water, and like if they're moving around, they leave like little you know, like little tiny waves behind them as they're going through the water, just like you'd see in real life. Of course, we got some hippos. They're all underwater. Look at them. Look at them going with like their little stubby legs. Ah, I love it. And let's see. There were some others. So this is an enclosure you have to do as part of the scenario. This is the ostrich. So when it starts, it doesn't have this wall out here. And so you kind of have to finish building it. And then you get to actually adopt the ostriches and move them into the enclosure. Super cool. And then this is the Bengal tiger enclosure, which you actually build from scratch. It's your first kind of like real attempt at building an enclosure or a habitat for your animals. These are the Bengal tigers. Look at this guy. Look at him. How cool is he looking? Just kind of sauntering around. He's like, yeah, I'm a Bengal tiger. Oh, oh, and he's walking away. Oh, look at them. They're like oh, they're loving on each other. I didn't even get to see that when we were streaming it. That's the first time I've seen that. And he's all happy now. He's like, yay. That's so cool. That's the first time I've seen that. That's so awesome. And then, yeah, so you also have your things like, you have your trading center. So when you adopt animals, which is down here, your animal market, you have all these animals you can adopt, and they come from this building. So like your vet, he'll walk in, he'll bring out like a little crate, and he'll take it to whatever enclosure you designate for your animal. And there you go. But yeah, so this is the first level of the scenario, the first zoo that you'll jump into in Planet Zoo. I love the new background for this biome. It looks really cool. But just look how great this whole thing looks. It's so awesome, right? Okay, so now that we saw that, I just wanted to give you guys sort of like a quick look at the first level of the scenario here. So let's jump into the zoo that we started from scratch. All right, so here we are. This is the first zoo that we've started from scratch. Not nearly as big as the one we just saw, but you know, this is our first zoo. So we have like a little staff area back here with some essential staff buildings. This is the first enclosure that we actually made. This is the, I'm gonna butcher the name, but bear tapir. That's these little guys. And I missed it on stream, but they actually had a baby. which it might be this guy. Nope. So this guy. This was the baby they had. And I saw he had like little baby stripes and everything. Super cool. We made just like a simple little food court area. It's not super huge. Ooh, the Gulpy stand is busy. Oh, that guy just left. So all those people are going to be upset. The other habitat we made, this is sort of like another little African one. So we have some African buffaloes, and then we have one little springbok guy. Fabio. Oh, he's got his little toy. He's just gonna walk around with it. This enclosure isn't completely finished. We were starting off on this side, so like we did a lot with the little viewing area up here. So you can see like we just made some little steps that come up there, and then it looks out over the enclosure. It's got a great view. And then we made ourselves like a little natural shelter. The buffalo actually don't require a hard shelter, but the springbok did. So this is what we built. It's just made out of rocks from scenery, you know, and it counts as a shelter. They'll actually go in there and, you know, they'll sleep when they're tired. And actually the buffalo do use it sometimes. I do see them sneaking in there. And then, so one of the, you know, new management aspects of the game is you have to manage power and the water quality of the water in your habitats. So like, you know, you have like little ponds like this, and you can see this one's actually a little bit murky. So you have to place like the little water filter here. Oh no, that's transformer. Derp. This is the water treatment. And then this is that's the power, obviously. And so you can make it easy on yourself, so you can see you have different heat maps. So like this is your animals. Temperatures, so if you have animals in your zoo that require, you know, for instance, cooler temperatures, you actually have little coolers that you can place in the habitat, and you can use that. But then you see like water. So that's the yellow object there is our water filter, and anything inside this circle will be treated by it. So you can see this pond is a little bit outside. And actually we have a brand new crocodile exhibit there, which will need another water treatment. But then you also have power. So anything inside these circles, which there's actually 2. Maybe? Those look like they give off power. I don't know. But yeah, so just some other management aspects you have to kind of be aware of. But yeah, so like right at the end of our stream, we kind of started building our little crocodile habitat here. Right now we only have one single little guy. Look at those teeth. Look at those chompers. But I figured let's try and finish up his habitat while we're here. So social is pretty low. It says insufficient size or crowding issue, which I'm wondering perhaps he's feeling a little cramped because it's pretty easy for the guests to kind of, you know, crowd around the habitat. Because I checked, the habitat itself is bigger than the minimum size that they like. The other thing, so like food enrichment, I still haven't quite figured this out. I assume you have to research more to be able to offer better types of food for your animals. And then toy enrichment. So we go up here, it tells you like, I guess these are points. You know, you can place, like if you want, you could check out the Zoopedia, and it tells you like different stuff about them, like habitat requirements and, you know, the kind of group sizes they like. It also will tell you if, you know, an animal is okay with sharing their habitat with other animals. Like, so here you go, like the African elephant. You can share habitats with any of these animals. So if you wanted like a really large habitat that's sort of meant to mimic like a, you know, some sort of like African plains or whatever, you could have all these guys in there and it would be super cool. But yeah, so let's place some more plants around. So he prefers plants from Asia and biomes of aquatic, tropical, and temperate. So let's go to nature. And I'm just gonna filter these out. So he likes tropical, and what was the other one? Temperate. And then go to Asia. There you go. So these are all the plants and things that he's okay with having in his habitat. So let's work on that. And of course, just like Planet Coaster, if you want, you can sink your trees way down and use them as bushes if you want. And they actually act as, if you're familiar in Planet Coaster, you have like the little curb pieces that you can use to manage guest flow. Guests actually walk around plants. So plants have the same functionality as those. Those people are really happy. But yeah, so let's give this guy some better coverage here. Because, you know, just like people, animals want to have, you know, they need privacy when they want it. So we'll kind of make sure we can give him some privacy as he needs. So just placing some of these plants around will be able to help with that. So what I'm trying to do is basically just create like a natural, I mean, the walls are a little bit lower, but if we do something like this, we can sort of create more of like a little natural wall. So it's still like aesthetically pleasing, but it still offers up, you know, a little bit of extra privacy for our crocodile, but it also looks nice from our guest point of view. So like maybe we'll kind of have this go around here. That. Sink it down a little. There we go. Check out him eating. He's eating some fish. He's having a good old day. So where is he? What's he looking like now? Maybe, let's check the Zoopedia. Maybe his water is not big enough. So he needs a 300 meter squared area of water. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe he doesn't have enough water. I wonder if we lower it to make it deeper, if that's gonna help at all. Alright, so there we go. So we got our habitat here fixed up a little bit for Mr. Crocodile. It's looking pretty good. But yeah, so this is our zoo so far, and you know, like I mentioned, I will be streaming this over on my Twitch channel, and we'll be expanding our zoo. But if you're unable to make it for the live streams, I will be doing more updates so you can see what we've done as well. But I hope you guys are excited for Planet Zoo. I hope you're excited as much as I am. I'm really looking forward to making a really, really cool, awesome zoo with you guys. And it's kind of a bummer. You know, the beta is only good for 2 weeks, and then we have to wait until November 5th. But once November 5th comes around, we're going to be doing lots more Planet Zoo content. But yeah, so be sure to leave your comments, suggestions, and feedback down below. I am 8-Bit Josh, and thanks for watching. See ya.